on Wolverine, there was the scene with the sharks. Where I just remember you were just like, what is this? What the script said, Wolverine fights 100 sharks in a tank or something like that.
The description, as I recall, was very simple. Here you go, Sicilian. He called me Sicilian. Here you go, Sicilian. This will be the easy part of this series. And that was the preface. And then the rest said, the shield, anti-aircraft carrier, or aircraft carrier, whatever the boat is. It's the helicarrier in water, which is a pain in the ass enough to draw. With a full contingent of jets and helicopters and planes and several thousand crew members, is struck by a torpedo and sunk. Okay, I like to show everything when you turn the page. And they all get eaten by sharks.
One big bang.
Okay, I can get that in a page, turn the page. And Wolverine goes underwater because he's captured and he gets free and fights all said sharks.
Draw a quick one of Wolverine fighting a shark.
Yeah. And there's
thousands of sharks.
ways to cheat. There are ways to cheat. And there was no way to cheat in this one. I didn't have any choice. And I ended up getting one shot at him gutting a shark, and then I had to show a million different characters. And when I got done with it, I felt this ease. Okay, I got past the worst. Then the next issue was a million ninjas. That was his description. Every ninja in existence comes down upon him, along with some sentinels. You know, it was in China, and he or was it, no, it was Japan. I'm sorry, Japan. It was Japan, and he was going through some burial ground, with all sorts of statues and all sorts of reference on. It gives me, I get hemorrhoids just thinking about it now. No. And I remember my wife saying, "Why are you drawing every single figure?" Yeah. What a great question, honey. Oh, yeah. Sorry about the page you did with the.
That, that's a parallel to me. If anybody gets that new book of mine, the book that just came out.
You're a real pain in the ass.
Just do
that. Just do that.
When I was making mine $20 a page. Now he's making a little more than $20 a page. So they're asking him to do that much more. Stan, one of the first things Stan gave me to do, I don't think this is working anyway.
I want to show you what I'm starting with. Hold on a second.
Is that mic working? Can you guys hear me right? Or?
This is what I'm starting with. There you go. Yeah.
Well,
this is to show you how bad I am as a thinker.
That's not even a breakdown. That's a scribble. He's working
You're
for a scribble. Stan, if you look in that book, there's a page reproduced from 1953 that I did while I was still in the Army. I was stationed in New York, and I was able to do some Stan's stories. It was a Civil War. It was in a war book, not a Civil War. It was a Revolutionary War book, story. And the splash page is reproduced. I don't know who got it for me. They reproduced it in that book, All That Jazz, that just came out. Got to look at it. It's funny. Stan wrote this script for me. He says, I got a platoon, a company of British redcoats coming down a Boston street. Company of British redcoats. Crowds of mixed Yanks, patriots and Tories on both sides of the street. On one side is a building, a mansion with a terrace. And on the terrace, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 people of the family, all speaking, balloons from every one of them, are arguing. One of them is a patriot, another one's the old man is neutral, and one brother is a patriot, the other one's a Tory. They keep arguing about the Revolutionary War. On the other side of the street, there are people throwing rocks at the British troops. In the distance, down the street. Now remember, I got to do the streets of Boston, right? In the distance is Bunker Hill. Not just Bunker Hill.
The fight.
The Battle of Bunker Hill. There's smoke coming from the hills, and you can't even see it on the book because it's reproduced small. This little shot of the splash. Believe me, when I looked at it, I thought he was joking with me, and I called him up and said, "Stan, you realize don't I need 2 pages for this?" "That's nothing." He said, "Look at the bottom of the page. There are 2 more panels on the page." You had to fit 2 panels on a page with more dialogue and captions and the title. If you look at that page, you will see what I went through is just a microcosm of what he just went through with that story. I couldn't believe it after he did it, let alone think of it when the guy gave it to him in a plot. Writers are crazy.
What's more interesting is a writer that's a screenwriter originally, like Greg Pak is from the theater, the movie industry, is multiple action panels, which, unless you're an animator, it's impossible to do. But Greg, as brilliant a writer as he is, either can't conceive of stop action is what a comic book is, or he really thinks that we can animate. But I won't hit him until I'm done with the series. But he's asked for a couple of, and I've shown him, I'll call him up at 10 o'clock at night, screaming at the top of my lungs, "You've got to hear this." One panel, the Hulk, this is a description of a panel, I'll try to paraphrase, it can't be exact. The Hulk comes down from the sky and lands, and at the same time throws 2 or 3 helicopters, 2 or 3 tanks up in the air at several helicopters. I swear, this is one panel. Okay, let me figure this out. And he just thinks of, Spider-Man, you know, the image of Spider-Man bouncing 2 or 3 times in a panel with several figures. What he is hoping I would do is the Hulk doing it in multi-figured motion. Strobe. But there's only 1 of 6 panels on the page.
Where he's ripping open these huge doors and somebody's crowd.
Oh, that was, yes.
Breaking through.
He said to me,
So first he's breaking open the doors, now they're breaking through.
The creature, no, it's a creature, this Sakarian creature, with this, like gigantic squid. He wants me to open the door. Hulk, no, he has an axe, and he chops the chain open. This is one panel. Axe, Hulk takes an axe. Right there, that's a panel. It's like George Costanza. There's a show right there. Hulk grabs an axe, breaks the chain open, the creature comes out and attacks the Illuminati. That's one panel. And the next thing, there were 6 panels on that page. So I called him up and I couldn't get him on the phone, so I left a really nasty message on his answer machine. Something about all of his dead relatives. But fortunately, he wasn't home at the time. I'm drawing and you're in.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we still got some time. So, Spidey was the number 3 choice.
Okay.
I'm sorry I started with that. I'm not going to fix anything.
No?
Now I'm going to do what I did.
Are we keep going with the questions, sir?
This one's for Junior.
You can't talk and draw.
It's okay, you can listen.
I can't do that either, ask my wife. Listen, I'm married.
Well, in a couple of weeks, it's going to be September 11th, and I remember going on the racks and seeing Spidey 36, your best cover, by the way. And I was looking through the story, and it was real emotional. I was just wondering, you know, if it felt, as a native New Yorker, any emotional drawing that. Like, was it tough?
Yeah, it was not a lot of fun.
That was a bad
It took a lot longer than a normal book. And, well, one, because it was a very dense book. Second, it was a lot of reference. And third, the obvious was keeping myself focused on what I was doing instead of what was going on.
Yeah.
Because while I'm drawing this, buildings were falling down during the aftermath. And it was not a lot of fun. And I couldn't get back to New York to be with them, and I was worried about relatives. We figured any day somebody was going to be found to be missing. And his sister's sister-in-law was one of the people that got out of the buildings, one of the buildings. So if we expected stories like that, and I couldn't get back, there were no flights back, etc. And then trying to draw this, because a couple of weeks after it happened, they told me this was going to be the subject matter of this issue. And both of us in harmony said, that's the dumbest thing we've ever heard, because you don't draw a comic book about such a tragedy and horror like that. And obviously we were wrong because it was such a beautifully written story. That Joe Straczynski said that couldn't see anything on the paper. And 1 moment later, it came. I forgot what the line was. There are no words, because he was telling somebody
Yeah.
in a phone conversation.
You should write
There's
it
no
in.
words to, and then he stopped in the middle of the conversation and wrote down there are no words, and he wrote, in the next 2 hours, wrote the whole script. So, and before and after, he thought it was a crazy idea too. He thought he couldn't do justice to it. And while he was doing that, I'm saying there's not a chance in hell I can do this. Because I'm worried about, oh my God, I have to draw accuracies, I have to draw buildings coming down, and you can't make the light, because it basically is a comic book. But to me, that legitimized the medium immediately, from the moment pencil took paper. And after that, a couple of teary nights and conversations with him and my wife. Eventually it started happening. It took 5 weeks to do it, and I don't remember. I usually remember panels vividly. I remember some panels. If I'm talking to somebody, they'll show me a book from 1978. I'll remember who I was dating at the time, that kind of thing. But when I did that book, it's very blank. I can't